Hey, welcome back to Mike's Italian Grand Adventure. This is the week 9 project update, if you can believe this. Oh my God, we're 9 weeks in, over 2 months. So I extended my trip. I was supposed to be leaving in about a week from today, I think. But I'm staying a couple more weeks because I kind of wanted to enjoy the place once it was done. And I think we're going to maybe run a week later. We're kind of on the punch list figuring stuff out. We've got a lot of stuff to do now, but maybe that last week will be a punch list. So I've got tons of updates, tons of things to talk about. But first, I want to just start with this window. This is the window in the gym. If you remember, this was a non-standard size. I talked about it in last week's video. It was 180 centimeters tall, and they don't make 180. It had to do a custom window. So what I did is I got a 60 centimeter wide by 100 centimeter tall window and turned it on its edge. So that's what we did here. And then they did make these 120 centimeter tall ones. So if you look, this window here, it'll tilt down like this. So we'll just put like a rope or piece of canvas or something on there that looks nice, and so it can't fall open. Or just use these upper windows, which just open like a standard window. So there you go. So this was pretty cool. The guys built this all out. They had to cut away a bunch of brick and mud it back in and put some stucco and texture on there and stuff. And so they did a great job. They did a great job in the office too. I'll show you guys that one a little bit later. But this is the gym, and man, it's coming along. I showed you last week the new floor they put in for auto leveling, and they just Marci was in here putting some plaster on the wall, all the walls to kind of seal it up and smooth it up. So this room's ready to paint. So if you remember, I have all the IKEA stuff in here. Actually, not all of it. They've moved some of it up because the kitchen in my apartment is ready to go. So it's all painted, all the electricals and everything's ready. So I'm gonna start tomorrow building the IKEA kitchen. So they already moved some of the stuff up. We'll move all the rest of this stuff up there today and tomorrow morning. And I'm gonna be assembling an IKEA kitchen this week. So, all right, why don't we roll the credits, and then I'll come back and I'll walk you through and show the changes. So here we are in the entryway. First thing you might notice is there's no longer a huge pile of trash and crap and construction debris in here. So, and no, Maurizio never did show up. So after waiting an hour last weekend and not showing up, and for the 10th time, I told Paolo I'm done with him. So Paolo was able to find another company, a professional company. The guy showed up on Tuesday at the time he said he was going to be here, took all of it away in one load. Is incredible. It was more expensive, maybe a lot more expensive, but at least we got rid of it because this stuff was in the way, because we need to work on this floor. So that's the next thing I want to talk about. So if you remember, when I very first bought this house, the first time I came here after buying the house, I was trying to get these front doors open because they hadn't been open for a long time. Everyone was coming in the garage here. So I pulled up some of this vinyl flooring was in the way of the door, so I had to peel it back, and I discovered it had these original tile floors. So when they pulled more of the vinyl back, they saw how it was damaged. So if you take a look, you can see all these areas where it came out, and it's pretty solid actually, but it lifted up, maybe some water got in there, and you can see these voids here and all around here. This is mainly just in this section. I think the rest of it's gonna look pretty good, and we're gonna get a power scrubber in here and power this up, clean it up, and get rid of the rest of the vinyl here, and hopefully it's gonna look good. But I decided I want to try to save this for three reasons. because it's original floor, I think it's super cool. One. Two, I accidentally bought the wrong tile for in here, which I think I'm going to be able to use. I came up for an idea for that because I bought some really thick tile. It was like 3 centimeters. It was an outdoor tile that I was going to use inside, but I didn't pay attention to how thick it was. So it was like 3 centimeters. That's over an inch. So that's, yeah, like 1.25 inches. I mean, that's pretty thick. So the transitions into the other rooms, the garage, the stairs, and into the gym would be big. We had to trim all these doors off. Yeah, so I decided I'm not going to use it. And instead try to restore this. Thirdly, it would have taken a bunch of extra time to tile this whole thing. And so I think cleaning this and restoring it is going to be much, much faster. So I just ordered some epoxy resin to fill these gaps. And there's a couple of different options here. I got a kit that came with dyes, various colors. So I could try to kind of frame off where each one of those tiles goes, because it's kind of like a dark brown and then like a light yellow brown kind of goldish color. I could make different colors and try to separate them and pour it. Or like Paulo said, he's like, just fill them all in and it'll, it's an old house. It'll add some character to it. It'll look like it's, was damaged or whatever. That it's been restored. So yeah, we'll see. I'll see how hard it is to do the color. Obviously that's what I'd prefer, but if not, and then there's one other thing, because we thought we were tiling this and we didn't have to preserve it. We did actually cut this trench here from the new water lines that go upstairs in the garage here that go upstairs to the new floor, to the 2 floors. And then it comes here and then it goes down into the cantina or the cellar. And from there it hooks up to the water line, which is way under the gymnasium over there in the cellar. So, had I realized I was going to try to keep this floor, we would have done something different. But that's a pretty short section. It's just this little section. It's maybe 3 feet, and it's pretty narrow. It's only a couple inches wide, so a few inches wide. So I think that's going to be fine. I think we're okay. What else we got going in here? We got electrical panel that's going to go on the wall back here. All that's run. They trenched all this in to run electricity. The new power came down through the stairwell here and it had to go all the way across, all the way back here and around the room, and then back over to this wall where they're going to have the power over there. So a couple panels. So all new electrical. So that's really nice to be done. It was a bummer because, of course, there were some frescoes up here that I was going to try to save. But, what can you do? These are the things you have to choose, pick your battles. Okay, so Silvio has really done a lot. I'm just going to talk as I walk. He's done a lot of painting. He's mostly done in all of the rooms on both floors. So the thing he has to do is paint the stairwell walls, but the railing has one full coat of paint on it already. Take a look at this. It's really, really, really gorgeous. That color is so beautiful. And, it runs all the way up the stairwell. So here, I'll show you a little bit more detail. The color is just really, really, really beautiful. And it matches this the marble, the veins in the marble really nicely. You can see these darker veins here. Wow. So those, incredible color choice. Really happy with that. So this is going to be a big one when he paints this up. So let's go. This is where the IKEA kitchen's going. So you can see they've already moved some boxes up here. Some of this is for the bathroom too. But here's the color. You should see Paulo. He loves gray and sand. This is called sand. He loves it so much he just smiles when he walks into the room. I like color, which is why we have some color on my floor here. But for the rental, it's kind of more basic colors. But I think the idea was this floor is pretty active. It's got some nice color and detail. And he really wanted to just kind of work with his background right here, right in here. And some of the colors in here, the terrazzo. So I think it looks really nice. I think it's going to look great. And it's neutral because the wood of the kitchen cabinets is pretty dark and pretty, pretty unique. So I think it's going to look really nice. There's a nice neutral color. So we've got, all the electricals in, the ductwork, everything's ready to go. They put this nice piece of trim up here on the top and painted it to match. So it's a nice clean edge all the way across for the top, and the cabinets will go up really close to that. So that's like 220 centimeters, I think, is where the top of the cabinets are. So this room's ready to go. And you might notice also they have all the switch plates on. So poor Adam, he was here putting all these switches in, and I came, I was like, these are blanks because these all hold 3 switches, but there's only 1 switch here. So Adam was putting the switch in this one, and I was like, ooh, Adam, would you mind putting the switch in the middle? I really would like a blank on each side, and then have the switch be in the middle, just for symmetry. So yeah, so he went back around and did that for me. So thank you, Adam. I know you're watching these videos too, so I appreciate you doing that. And now let's walk into the living room and check out this really cool color. So this is where they took that door frame off and the door. There was a door here before, and Paolo made a good suggestion to taking this off and just making it an open, nice, clean entry into the kitchen. So from the living room here, you can just walk in, and then Silvio decided to paint the color on the inside here instead of leaving this white or something, which I love because it really draws you into the room. It connects the rooms nicely. So I think that's great. And now, ta-da, check out the color in here. Check out my wall of color. So this door has not been painted yet. It's going to be white, the same white as the trim. So it's going to look really nice. But this is the splash of color. And you'll see these are the same tiles as the ones that are in the entranceway. So you can see that color really goes nicely with this. You can get some dust off here, but you can see that color really complements it nicely, but it's not too much. It's just this one wall. And then they kept the white on the ceiling from here all the way around the arch and all the way down the wall here. And then this is one of the other things we talked about. I really like how in the other rooms, how they painted around the windows, like on this flat surface right around the window. And then right where the arch meets the wall, they'd go across. And so this would all be color here. This would be white for the vaulted ceiling. And then this would also be the same color as the wall. So I had them do that with a dark color, and it just was too much. They said they didn't think we should do it. But I love that feature. But what I realized is look at the shadows right now. Just the way the light hits it. It does the same thing. It really accentuates this flat wall here, the curves, all the different features. And you know, they're all painted the exact same color, but the shadows really do an incredible job of accentuating that. So this room's pretty much done with paint. We just need base trim. So I need to order like, God, it's kind of expensive. It's like 250 meters of base trim. That's like 750, almost 800 feet of base trim for this whole house. So I need to get that going. I'm trying to find a discount place where I can buy it, because from the home stores they're kind of expensive. It's going to be like, I don't even know, 1,000 euros, and I'm hoping to get it more like 600 euros. So we'll see if I can find a place. But one other thing I wanted to note, you see the mini split is in here. So that's the tubing's in, and they're in the process of mounting the condenser units. And then this wire sticking out here is a network cable. So this is where one of the access points will go for internet. So right up here, we'll put an access point. So that's going to serve this whole level. I'll have a different, for you computer nerds like me, I'll have a different network for that each access point, because they're not going to be roaming around. I didn't need a mesh network, which I was thinking about getting. And then here is the bedroom. So this is the green color. Those guys picked out for me for the bedroom, and the tile, once this paper comes off on the floor and you can see the tile, you're going to see how nice this matches. But as I mentioned before, they didn't want too much color. So instead of, typically the transition line would be where this arch ceiling comes and meets the flat wall. That's where we were putting the line in the past. But they wanted to minimize the green a little bit, and then also accentuate this curve. So I think this does it nicely. I think it's going to be great. One issue we came up with is the floor in here is not level. This side of the floor kind of drops down right here. If you can see kind of here, it's dropping down a little bit. It kind of angles down from here and drops down over there. I mean, not by a ton, but a fair amount. So what Silvio was going to do is this line here, he's like, I can make this line kind of halfway between level and the slope of the floor, just to kind of minimize it, because he's like, your eyes are going to see that. And I didn't like that idea. I said, I really don't want to do that, because like the top of the doors are all level. You know, all the top of the doors up here are level, the tops of the windows, the window frame, everything else is level. It's just the floor is not level. And I thought that would be a bigger problem with, you know, with a non-level line than having, you know, it off level. I think that would have been noticeable. So I said, no, let's just do it level. It'll be fine. When I put furniture here, I'll put leveling feet on it and I'll get the furniture level. I don't think it would be terribly noticeable. So this is going to be my bedroom. Love it. Love it. So obviously you need a couple more coats of paint in here. And let's head in. So got some hopefully good news this week. But hey, there's so much content that I decided to cut it into 2 parts. So we're going to stop here. We'll continue on next week. But if you are liking my content, please click on the thumbs up. Give me a little like. And then if you haven't subscribed yet, please click on the subscribe link and the little bell so you get notifications when I upload new content, because I'm doing shorts as well as you know, the weekly full episodes as well. So so tune back in next week for part 2.